Broadband Cable, in cooperation with the South Union Township Supervisors, presents the South Union Township Sports Network. Today via tape delay from Northern High School in Dillsburg, which is located 15 miles south of Harrisburg. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs take on the Cedar Colts in a PIAA 5A first-round playoff game. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Morozak with Jerry Dupay, and we welcome you aboard for today's high school baseball PIAA playoff game. South Union Township Sports Network coverage is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. Again, I'm Brian Morozak with Jerry Dupay, and we'll be back with the lineups for both teams after these messages.
The key to success in life is teamwork. On and off the field, in the workplace, in the home, in our schools. Teamwork gets it done. The world of competitive sports offers many good things, the most important of which is teamwork. Individual talent may win a few games, but teamwork wins championships. Go team! Go Laurel Highlands Mustangs! This positive message has been brought to you and paid for by Jason Scott.
PIAA baseball tournament. Today's 5A opening round game features representing District 7, the Mustangs of Laurel Highlands. And representing District 3, the Colts of Cedar Cliff.
Brian Morozak back here at Northern High School in Dillsburg on both WMBS and on the South Union Township Sports Network. The starting lineups for both teams will be taking the field here on the lines, and we'll introduce the starters to the crowd here in attendance in Dillsburg. We'll set the batting lineup for Laurel Highlands, which will be the away team on the scoreboard. The Mustangs to have Santino Mera leading things off, the junior second baseman. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 18, Greg Hench. Batting third and pitching, number 1, Dino Vecchiola. And the cleanup spot and playing first base, number 25, Garrett Myers. Batting fifth and in left field, number 10, Alex Gesk. Batting sixth in center field, Justin Brostensky. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Nate Zimkowski. Batting eighth in right field, Tyler Becker. And batting ninth and catching, Caleb Scott. Defensively for Cedar Cliff, they'll have Taven Kelly out in the left, Bobby Whalen in center, and Brant Cook in right. Around the horn, it's Chris Dare playing third, Trey Law playing short, Nate Uzelak playing second base, and Camden New playing first base. The battery for Cedar Cliff will have Joseph Matter pitching and Donovan Ball catching on the Cedar Cliff side. Matter enters this game. This is his 10th appearance, 6-0 record, 3.18 ERA. He's worked 39 and 2/3 innings, given up 41 hits, 23 runs, 18 of those runs earned, 38 strikeouts to 15 walks for Matter so far this season. The Laurel Highlands starters being introduced to the crowd here for you folks on the South Union Township TV side. The Mustangs decked out in their away blues with red numbers and gray pants here today. Cedar Cliff occupying the first base dugout in their home whites with dark blue numbers and a little bit of gold trim down the third base line. For you folks on the WMBS radio side, we're going to step aside for a quick break. We'll keep it here for you folks on the South Union TV side as they introduce the starters. So for you folks on the radio side, we'll be back in just a moment. And again, we'll keep it here on the South Union Township Sports Network.
And the rest of the Mustangs.
And for you folks staying with us here on the South Union Township Sports Network, the Mustangs lined up here down the first base line, and now they'll introduce the Cedar Cliff starters. And we mentioned during the pregame show earlier, Cedar Cliff with 3 Division I recruits, of course led by Bobby Whalen. Whalen headed to Louisville, and they also have Trey Law, who's headed to Youngstown State, and Taven Kelly, who actually transferred in to Cedar Cliff from Boiling Springs High School. He signed with Penn State, Maine, and Cedar Cliff also has a Division I wrestler as well in Donovan Ball, who's the starting catcher for Cedar Cliff today. He'll be batting in the number 3 position in the Cedar Cliff batting order, and he'll be wrestling next year at Penn State as well. The Cedar Cliff starting 9 features 7 seniors, 1 sophomore, and 1 freshman. And we mentioned the number of underclassmen on the Laurel Highlands side. In fact, only 2 seniors in the starting 9 for the Mustangs here today, Greg Hench and Alex Gesk. And now we'll pause for the national anthem.
Military, retired and active, please render a hand salute as we honor America and those who have and are serving her both at home and abroad with the playing of our national anthem.
And we're back with the game's first pitch in just a moment here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Back here at Northern High School in Dillsburg, just about set to go. Joseph Matter finishing up his last couple of warm-up tosses. We remind you this game and the broadcast rights to this game are the sole and exclusive property of the PIAA, WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Any broadcast of this game is intended exclusively for the benefit of the listening audience, and a use-free broadcast or distribution of this broadcast without the express written consent of the PIAA, WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network is strictly prohibited. That legal disclaimer brought to you by Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, helping local people with their legal matters since 1976. Laurel Highlands in the state playoffs for only the second time in school history. The last time all the way back in 1983 when the Mustangs entered as the third-place team out of District 7. Laurel Highlands lost a first-round state game to Taylor Alderdice. That game was played at the Westfield in Munhall by a score of 12-6. Laurel Highlands looking for a better fate here this afternoon in Northern New York as Santino Merrill lead things off. The junior second baseman batting .385 with 9 RBIs, and the first pitch a fastball misses outside from Joseph Matter, 1-0. Bright sunshine, game time temperature 65 degrees, 1-0 pitch, and Mara hits it high in the air to left field. Getting under it is Taven Kelly, and Kelly will make the grab for the first out of this top half of the first inning, which is being brought to you by the Roost Car Wash in Hopwood. And I'll bring up Greg Hench, the Mustangs' designated hitter here today, the senior batting .418 with 7 RBIs. Laurel Highlands using the exact same lineup they used in their WPIAL championship loss to Shaler by a score of 8-1 last Tuesday. First pitch here to Hench. Swing and a miss from Greg off the fastball there from Matter. And the count at 0-1. Matter working quickly. 0-1 here to Hench. That one misses high and inside to even things up at 1-1. natural grass surface, here at Northern York High School today. Mustangs, of course, played on the artificial surface down at Wild Things Field for the WPIAA title game. 1-1 pitch missed inside. Now 2-1 here to Greg Hench as Matter comes back with a fastball right down the pipe to even things up at 2-2. This game 2 of our PIAA high school baseball doubleheader on WMBS today. California defeating Rockwood by a score of 17-7 earlier on today. After a quick time was called, back with a 2-2. Nice breaking ball, and Hench caught off guard there, and Greg strikes out for the second out of this top half of the first inning. For Matter, that's his 39th strikeout against 15 walks so far this season. And now Dino Vecchiola will come to the plate. Vecchiola has Laurel Highlands' only team home run of the season. That came against Carrick back in April. And he'll take the first pitch here for strike one. In comparison, Cedar Cliff has hit 18 team home runs already this season. Now the 0-1 here to Vecchiola, misses low and outside, hops away there from the catcher Donovan Ball. I'll even up the count at 1-1. Laurel Highlands entering this game 14-7 overall. Cedar Cliff 21-3 as the 1-1 pitch misses high and outside. Now 2-1 to Dino Vecchiola, who's batting here from the left side for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Laurel Highlands entered the WPIAL postseason, losing 4 of their last 6, but of course 3 straight playoff wins propelled them into the WPIAL championship game. As the 2-1 taken low and outside there by Vecchiola as the count moves to 3-1. Cedar Cliff only 3 losses all season long. The last loss came against Cumberland Valley back on May the 9th, and now Vecchiola popping up the 3-1 on the left side over the fence and out of play. He'll move the count full here to 3-2. Also interesting that neither Laurel Highlands or Cedar Cliff won their conference this year. Cedar Cliff finished behind Redland in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth Conference. Of course, Laurel Highlands finished behind West Allegheny in their section as Vecchiola caught looking at strike 3 in a 1-2-3 top half of the first. We'll move to the bottom of the first, scoreless between Laurel Highlands and Cedar Cliff here on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day. Cedar Cliff coming to bat here in the bottom half of the first inning. Laurel Highlands and Cedar Cliff scoreless. Let's set the Cedar Cliff batting lineup. Leading off, the center fielder Bobby Whalen. Batting second and playing shortstop Trey Law. Batting third and catching Donovan Ball. Camden New in the cleanup spot. He's playing first base. Taven Kelly batting fifth in left field. Justin Resto, the DH, batting sixth. Nate Uzelak, the freshman second baseman, batting seventh. Brant Cook in right field batting eighth, and Chris Dare, the third baseman, batting ninth. Defensively for Laurel Highlands, of Alex Gaskin left, Justin Brostensky in center, and Tyler Becker in right. Nate Zimkowski playing third, Michael Brostensky playing short, Santino Mera playing second, Garrett Myers playing first. And the first pitch from Santino Mera, chopped foul there on the left side by Bobby Whalen. Again, it's Vecchiola pitching and Caleb Scott catching. Dino enters this game with a 6-2 record. This is his 12th appearance, 11th start. Has worked 46 in the third innings, given up 38 hits, 18 runs, 15 of them earned, 43 strikeouts to 15 walks. And there's a chopper to Zimkowski at third. Long throw over to first in time to retire Whalen 5-3. And that's a good early out for the Mustangs. Whalen had come into the game with a .452 average with 5 home runs, 34 RBIs, has committed to Louisville, and entered the game with an 8-game hitting streak and with 4 straight multi-hit games. So kudos to Laurel Highlands for retiring Whalen to start this bottom half of the first inning. And now the first pitch from Dino Vecchiola to Trey Law's in there for a strike. So 0-1 to Law, who's the senior shortstop, another D1 recruit for Cedar Cliff. He's headed to Youngstown State, batting .397 with 18 RBIs. 0-1 pitch, missing low and outside there to Trey Law. This bottom of the first inning being brought to you by Tim Dye for Recorder of Deeds in Fayette County. Bottom of the first inning, Laurel Highlands and Cedar Cliff scoreless. 1-1, Vecchiola to Law, high and inside. Law actually had to duck away from that one as the count moves to 2-1. Second straight start for Vecchiola, who's also on the mound to start for Laurel Highlands last Tuesday. And the Mustangs 8-1 PIAA championship loss to Shaler. 2-1 pitch, Law, well-hit ball. Here goes to Merritt. Second should be routine. Over to Garrett Myers at first, retiring Law 4-3 for the second outs of this bottom of the first inning. It certainly wasn't a pitcher's duel in game one of our high school baseball doubleheader here on the radio side on WMBS. California defeating Rockwood 17-7 in 5 innings in a 1A first-round matchup over at Greater Latrobe High School. Now Donovan Ball coming to the plate. Senior catcher for Cedar Cliff, batting .423. Takes the first pitch low and inside for ball one. We mentioned Ball has committed to Penn State to wrestle at Penn State. Certainly has done well here on the diamond, batting .423 with a homer and 19 RBIs. And Vecchiola, like Matter earlier, working quickly. Now a 2-0 count here to Ball. And Dino set to wind and fire again. 2-0 pitch out of the way, breaking ball, and had Ball off balance there. Swing and a miss as the count moves to 2-1. Could ask for a better afternoon for high school baseball here in central Pennsylvania. 2-1 pitch on the way. Another nice breaking ball in there for strike two. A lot of bend on that pitch from Dino Vecchiola. And Laurel Highlands has never won a PIAA state playoff game. Looking for their first win in school history here today. 2-2 pitch on the way. That one a little inside, so we'll go full here, 3-2. Vecchiola to Ball with 2 outs, bases empty, bottom of the first inning. Now the payoff pitch, Vecchiola to Ball. Another breaking ball, and Ball with a little blooper here, going over Michael Brostensky in a left field. First hit of the game, Alex Gesk with the relay in, holding Ball to a 2-out single. Here in the bottom of the first inning, then I'll bring up Camden New. New, the senior first baseman for Cedar Cliff, enters this game with a .351 average. And New has hit 6 home runs so far this season. Also has 25 RBIs. And we do have a courtesy runner here for Ball. And the courtesy runner is Griffin Snyder, number 8. So Snyder running for Ball. First pitch swinging there from New. Fouls it off here on the right side. We mentioned the Cedar Cliff team with 18 team home runs so far this season. New has 6 of them. Taven Kelly, who's due up next and has committed to play baseball at Penn State, has 5. And Whalen, batting from the leadoff position, also has 5. And that one shot back to Vecchiola. That'll end the inning. Dino turns and throws over to Garrett Myers to retire New 1-3 for the third out of the inning. So Cedar Cliff stranding the courtesy runner Griffin Snyder will head to the second. Scoreless between Cedar Cliff and Laurel Highlands here on the Ratcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
Good luck to the Mustangs from the South Union Township Supervisors, Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, and Robert Schiffbauer.
Garrett Myers, Alex Gesk, and Justin Brostensky do up for Laurel Highlands here in the top half of the second inning. Mustangs were retired 1-2-3 back in the first. Here's Matters' first pitch to Garrett Myers. Breaking ball catches the outside corner for a strike. 0-1 this half inning. Being brought to you by Mara's Mountaineer Sports Shop in Uniontown. Myers, the junior first baseman, enters this game with a .248 average and 6 RBIs as he fouls off the 0-1, quickly 0-2. Joseph Matter to Garrett Myers. Myers also batting from the left side here for the Mustangs. Matter's 0-2 fastball in there for strike 3, and Myers punched out. That's now 3 straight strikeouts for Joseph Matter. Sent down Hench and Vecchiola to end the first, and now retires Myers to start the second. The Mustangs were certainly shut down when Dayton recruit Nick Rispoli came into the game, replacing Shaler's starting pitcher in the WPIAL title game in the 3rd inning of that contest. And the Mustangs facing another tough pitcher here in Joseph Matter as Alex Gesk fouls off the first pitch here from Matter. And Alex behind 0-1. Now the 0-1 on the way, the one low in the dirt. Evens things up at 1-1. Gesk, the senior left fielder, enters this game with a .259 average and 8 RBIs for the Mustangs. The only out not recorded via the strikeout so far. Mara's fly ball out to Kelly in left field, and now this one hit on the ground. A little slow roller to second, but a routine play there. Uzelak to New to retire Gesk 4-3 for the second out of this top half of the second inning. And that'll bring up the junior center fielder Justin Brostensky, who enters this game with a .395 average and 6 RBIs. Starting in center field today, Brostensky picked up the win on the mound for Laurel Highlands. And the Mustangs WPIAL semifinal round win over Franklin Regional. That game was played over at West Mifflin High School as Matter misses to Brostensky. First pitch, a breaking ball, missing outside. Now coming back with the 1-0 fastball right down the pipe. And we're even at 1-1. Mustangs still brought a pretty good number of fans down here for the game today, considering the road trip's 3 hours plus, and the Mustangs have their first hit of the afternoon as Brostensky goes opposite field left to give Laurel Highlands a base runner with 2 outs here in the top half of the second inning. That'll bring up Nate Zimkoski, the junior third baseman. Enters this game with a team-leading 20 RBIs and a .302 average. Laurel Highlands has had a lot of success so far this season with 2 outs in innings. And we'll see if this changes the way Matter operates now from the stretch position. Doesn't have any problem with the first pitch here to Zimkoski, finding the strike zone with a fastball as the count moves to 0-1. Only about a step lead off first for Brostensky. Now the 0-1 pitch here to Zimkoski. Breaking ball missing inside. We've seen some sidewinders early on from both Matter and Vecchiolo for the respective teams. Haven't seen too much hitting yet. This game's still scoreless. Quick throw over to first. Head first slide back safely there for Brostensky. And the count even at 1-1. Mustangs with their first base runner of the afternoon, and the 1-1 pitch fastball misses low and outside. Now 2-1 to Nate Zimkoski. We're positioned right behind home plate. Things a little tight here in the Northern York press box, but we're making it happen. 2-1 outside again there to Zimkoski. Count now 3-1. Laurel Highlands looking to put a little pressure here on the District 3 champs in this PIAA first round playoff game in Dillsburg. 3-1 on the way, and this one popped up. Now making his way over towards the net, the catcher Donovan Ball in foul territory makes the grab to end the inning. So Zimkoski popping up, Ball retiring Zimkoski, a 14-pitch inning. Matter's thrown 27 so far. This game still scoreless as we move to the bottom of the second here on the Ratcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
off the bottom of the second for the Colts, the left fielder, number 31, Taven Kelly.
Taven Kelly leading off the bottom half of the second inning for Cedar Cliff. Cedar Cliff and Laurel Highlands scoreless in this 5A PIAA first round playoff game here in Dillsburg. First pitch from Vecchiola missing inside there to Kelly. You mentioned Kelly, the Penn State commit, starting left fielder for Cedar Cliff here today. Enters the game with a .328 average, 5 home runs and 22 RBIs. 1-0 pitch nearly hit Kelly there on the inside. Count now 2-0. One hit for Cedar Cliff in the bottom half of the first inning. A single to left field from Donovan Ball. Now Kelly back in the batter's box. 2-0 pitch here from Vecchiola. Another breaker fouled off here on the right side. The count moves to 2-1 this half inning. Being brought to you by Jason Scott and South Union Township. It's Kelly, Resto, and Uzelac for Cedar Cliff. 2-1 pitch here from Vecchiola right down the pipe, and that one just nubbed foul by Kelly as the count moves to 2-2. Vecchiola entering this game with 43 strikeouts to 15 walks so far this season. 6-2 record, 2.81 ERA after he got roughed up a little bit in that WPIAA title game against Shaler. 2-2 pitch on the way, and this one aligned into right and bouncing in front of Tyler Becker. And a leadoff single to right field to start this bottom half of the second inning for Taven Kelly and the Cedar Cliff Colts. And I'll bring up Justin Resto, the senior DH. Resto a .280 average, only one RBI, though, so far this season for Resto. He'll bat here from the right side with Kelly on first. And Kelly about a 2-step lead off that first base bag. It's now Vecchiola with a clean look over at first. And the lefty delivering the first pitch, which misses there to Justin Resto, 1-0. Vecchiola slowing down his tempo a little bit here with Kelly on first. Now the 1-0 on the way. Fastball down the pipe. Little check swing. Resto pulled back, but the pitch was in the strike zone. And now the count even at 1-1. Vecchiola shaking up a couple of signs there from Caleb Scott. Now delivers the 1-1. Another check swing. That pitch was low and outside, and not going that time was Resto. Laurel Highlands appealing here on the right side. The ruling is he did not go, so the count remains at 2-1. A 2-1 pitch also misses high and outside, now 3-1. Vecchiola to Resto. Nobody out as we work here in the bottom half of the second inning. Cedar Cliff with a runner on first. Looking to produce the game's first run. Now the 3-1 pitch here to Resto. Another breaking ball fouled off by Justin, and we'll go full 3-2. It's Caleb Scott. Retrieves the loose ball, hands it off to our home plate umpire. 4 umpire crew here today behind home plate in each one of the bags for this PIAA first round playoff game. Now throwing over to first to Vecchiola, back safely there, Taven Kelly. Cedar Cliff defeating Gettysburg in the District 3 championship game. Get this first round playoff game close to home. Little nubber there from Resto. Could be a tough play, and the Mustangs don't have a play on it as Zimkoski moved over from third base, tried to step in front of Brostensky to make the play, but on the natural grass surface here, a little slow nubber allows Resto to reach first base safely. I think you have to give Resto an infield single there, and back-to-back hits to start this bottom half of the second inning for Cedar Cliff, with Nate Uzelac, the freshman second baseman, coming to the plate. Uzelac batting .367, 14 RBIs for Uzelac, batting from the number 7 position in the Cedar Cliff batting lineup here today. First serious threat we've seen on either side so far in this contest. Uzelac now showing bunt, pulls back, pitch misses for ball 1. So the Mustangs in a little bit of a jam here in the bottom of the second inning with nobody else. Vecchiola certainly has slowed down his tempo on the mound. Glance back at second. Again, Uselak showing bunt, pulls back. And another pitch missing there. Mustangs want the appeal again. Look down to first. And the first base umpire saying there that Uselak did not offer. And the count now at 2-0. Brant Cook due up next behind Uselak for Cedar Cliff. And Cook's batting .320 with 16 RBIs. Now the 2-0 on the way. Again, Uselak showing bunt, pulling back, and another pitch missing there from Vecchiola. Now the count at 3-0. Vecchiola to Uselak. Big pitch upcoming here for the Mustangs. Now Dino stepping off. Uselak was showing bunt again, even with the 3-0 count. Wonder if he'd still have a green light. And 3-0 pitch in there for a strike. Uselak showing, pulled back. Count out at 3-1. 390 to straightaway center here at Northern New York High School. 362 to the alleys and 325 down the lines. 3-1 pitch on the way. And Uselak showing bunt. Pitch misses inside. And that'll load up the bases for Cedar Cliff. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. And now the sophomore Brant Cook will come to the plate.
The right fielder, number 4.
No visit to the mound yet for the Mustangs. Certainly in a tough spot here. And Cook now batting from the left side. You have Kelly down at third, Resto at second, Uselak at first. The first pitch here misses low to Brant Cook. 1-0. Cedar Cliff looking for a big hit here. Break things open. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. Evens things up at 1-1. Brian Morozak alongside Jerry Dupay on the South Union Township Sports Network. Bill Madden back in our Uniontown Hospital studios. 1-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball. Chop foul here on the right side. Vecchiola is yet to record a strikeout in this game. Mentioned he had 43 strikeouts coming into this game. With only 15 walks. Has already issued a walk here in this half inning to Uselak. But has Cook behind 1-2. Dino wind and fire. 1-2 pitch breaking ball. Missing inside. Evens things up at 2-2. Cedar Cliff certainly making Vecchiola work here in the bottom half of the second inning. Laurel Highlands looking for the inning's first outs. 2-2 on the way. Fastball misses low and outside. Now we're full of 3-2. Don't want to walk in a run here if you're Vecchiola and the Mustangs. So Cook back in the batter's box. Payoff pitch with the bases loaded. Breaking ball that Cook fouls off. There's another sidewinder there from Dino. Here we go again, 3-2. Vecchiola to Cook. And the pitch on the way. Fastball. Cook with a chopper here to Merritt. Second as only plays over to first to Garrett Myers. So it goes 4-3, but Cook picks up an RBI. That's his 17th of the season, driving in Kelly for the game's first run. That's 1-0, Cedar Cliff over Laurel Highlands. And now Chris Dare will come to the plate, batting from the number 9 position. Senior third baseman batting .292 with 8 RBIs. Runners now on second and third. Mustangs with Myers in at first. And Zimkowski creeping in at third. First pitch here to Dare. Fastball in there for a strike, 0-1. Laurel Highlands took an early lead over Shaler in their WPIAA title game, but gave up 8 unanswered runs. Now Brostensky coming in here at short. That pitch fouled off there by Dare. Now Chris behind 0-2. Of course, behind Dare, you have the top of the order. And Bobby Whalen due up next. And the Mustangs very fortunate. First time through the Cedar Cliff lineup to retire both Whalen and Law, along with New. All three have been red hot. We mentioned Whalen coming in on an 8-game hitting streak and had 4 straight multi-hit games coming into the first round of the PIAA playoffs. No 2-pitch miss there from Vecchiola. Count now at 1-2. Now the 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball. It was close but missed. Count now even at 2-2. Vecchiola's done a nice job with those side-winders throughout the course of the season. Now the 2-2 on the way to Dare. Comes back with a fastball. It's in there for strike 3. A delayed call from the home plate umpire. With a punch-out granted. That's a big second out of this bottom half of the second inning. Now Bobby Whalen will be the 6th Colt to bat here in the bottom half of the second inning. Again, he grounded out 5-3 back in the first. Senior batting .452 with 5 home runs and 34 RBIs. Headed to Louisville next year, batting from the right side with runners on second and third, one already across. Here in this bottom half of the second inning as Whalen takes strike 1 off another nice breaking pitch from Dino Vecchiola. 0-1 now, Vecchiola to Whalen. Now Dino's 0-1, comes back with a fastball, missed low. Nice block there from the catcher Caleb Scott. Count now even at 1-1. Dino, deep breath, set to go. A 1-1 pitch on the way, outside. 2-1 now to Bobby Whalen. First base is open with Trey Law due up next. Mustangs hope they don't see Law until the third inning. 2-1 now. Vecchiola to Whalen. Pitch on the way. Another breaking ball. The Whalen goes opposite field right. Look out. That was going to drop in. The Mustangs had Becker shaded off to the left side. Ball goes all the way back to the wall. Whalen's headed to third. 2 runs already across. And now going home for the inside the park home run. And sliding in safely is Bobby Whalen. So Whalen, an inside the park home run, scoring 3. And it's 4-0, Cedar Cliff over Laurel Highlands here in the bottom of the second. Whalen with the Mustangs shaded off there on the right side. Went opposite field, plenty of room off to the left of Tyler Becker. And that ball went all the way back to the wall. And it's now 4-0.
Trey Law.
Cedar Cliff over Laurel Highlands. So Whalen picks up, if it stands as an inside the park home run, his 6th home run of the season. Now has 37 RBIs. And Cedar Cliff now leading Laurel Highlands 4-0. Trey Law now at the plate, counted 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch on the way. This one nubbed foul by Law. The count now moves to 0-2. Law grounded out 4-3. Back in the first inning, we mentioned his Youngstown State commit. Came in with a .397 average and 18 RBIs. The damage already done here by the Colts in the bottom half of the second inning. 0-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball grounded here to Mara at second, who charges in, makes a throw over to Myers at first. Retire Law 4-3. But Cedar Cliff picks up 4 runs here in the bottom of the second inning to lead Laurel Highlands 4-0 here in the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
Vecchiola in the second inning, 35 pitches for a total of 49. Leading off the top of the third for Laurel Highlands, the right fielder
Tyler Becker, Caleb Scott, and Santino Mara due up for Laurel Highlands here in the third. And Becker swinging at the first pitch, popping it up in foul territory. Ball goes over the fence and out of play. Back to the bottom of the second inning. That hit from Whalen was scored officially an inside the park home run. So that does give Whalen now 6 home runs for the season. 37 RBIs as Cedar Cliff played at 4 runs in the inning. Now lead Laurel Highlands 4-0. Becker swinging at the 0-1, chopping it to second. There is Uzelak to Camden New. Retire Becker 4-3. for the first out of this top half of the third inning, which is being brought to you by Magisterial District Judges Nathan Henning and Jennifer Jeffries. I'll bring up Caleb Scott.
The Mustang catcher.
A junior catcher enters the game with a .248 average and 9 RBIs. Wins certainly out of the sails of the Mustangs right now after giving up 4 in that bottom half of the second inning. Early on, Joseph Matters been tough to hit. Only one Laurel Highlands hit so far. That was a single from Justin Brstensky. And Caleb Scott with a deep shot here to left field, goes over the head of Taven Kelly. Scott on his way to second. It'll slide into second safely. So just what the doctor ordered for Laurel Highlands, a double to left field for Caleb Scott. And Laurel Highlands with a base runner here in the bottom. Check that in the top half of the third inning. Now the top of the order coming up here in Santino Mara. Mara flew out to Taven Kelly. Back in the first. And Laurel Highlands will have a courtesy runner here for Scott. Will be Nick Kumar.
Courtesy running for Laurel Highlands, number 16, Nick Kumar.
Kumar to run for Scott.
Now batting, the second base.
As Laurel Highlands tries to get back into this game. With Santino Mara at the plate. Now Matter working out of the stretch. Glances back at Kumar. First pitch in for a strike to Mara. Going back to the WPIAL championship game, Mara was 1 for 3 against Shaler. Actually led off the game with a single to left field for the Mustangs. 0-1 here to Santino. Breaking ball misses inside, even up the count at 1-1. And you go back again to Whalen's inside the park home run. Certainly has been a while since we've seen one of those in a high school baseball game, at least here on WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network. Don't remember one at least over the last few seasons. Another pitch in there for a strike to Mara as the count moves to 1-2. Now Matter trying to finish off Mara. Looking for his fourth strikeout of the game. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball. Just missed inside. It was close. A Cedar Cliff faithful wanted strike 3. Count now moves to 2-2. Mustangs trying to get a couple of runs back. Down 4-0 as we work here in the top half of the third. A Northern New York High School in Dillsburg. 2-2 pitch on the way, and Mara with a shot here. Back-to-back hits for the Mustangs, dropping in front of Brant Cook, rounding third on his way to the plate. Close play at home, and safe at home is Nick Kumar. RBI single to right for Santino Mara. Mustangs get a run back. It's 4-1. For Mara, that's his 10th RBI of this season.
Number 18, Greg Hench.
Kumar scoring the run, running for Caleb Scott. And now Greg Hench coming to the plate. Hench struck out swinging first time up. Certainly has had some big hits throughout the Mustangs playoff run as Hench takes the first pitch here for a strike from Joseph Matter. Doubled and scored a run against Shaler in the WPIAL championship game. His big game was the WPIAL quarterfinal round when he picked up a couple of RBIs with a single and a double, going 2 for 4. And has been a constant producer at the plate for the Mustangs so far this season. Count even here now at 1-1. Matter to Hench. Breaking ball, catches the outside corner for a strike. Count now at 1-2. Now Hench has to protect here with 2 strikes on him. Mustangs with back-to-back hits here in this half inning. Looking for another one. 1-2 pitch. This is high and outside. Now 2-2. Matter to Hench. And both teams with their full complement of pitchers available here today. Cedar Cliff last playing against Gettysburg on Thursday. Laurel Highlands hasn't played since last Tuesday. And the 2-2 breaking ball chopped to third. Tough play here for Dare. Long throw over to first in time to retire Hench 5-3. Mara advancing down to second.
The pitcher.
So Santino now in scoring position. 2 outs here in the inning. And Dino Vecchiola at the plate. Dino struck out looking. Then the first time today, the sun actually behind the clouds. Don't think it'll last for long. Not too many clouds up there in the sky. First pitch here to Vecchiola. Breaking ball misses outside, 1-0. Here to Dino. With Mara on second. 2 outs as we work here in the top half of the third inning. PIAA 5A first round action from Dillsburg. Now Matter taking his time. 1-0 pitch, fastball in there for a strike to Vecchiola. Evens things up at 1-1. We mentioned Dino with Laurel Highlands' only team home run so far this season. Compare that now to 19 team home runs after the inside the Parker from Whalen on the other side. 1-1 pitch out of the way. Misses outside there from Matter. Count moves to 2-1. Matter making his 10th appearance on the mound so far this season for Cedar Cliff. 6-0 record. 2-1 pitch, and Vecchiola chops it here on the right side. Second baseman throw over to first in time. Uzelak Tanu for the third out of the inning. The Mustangs do get a run back as we head to the bottom of the third. It's 4-1 Cedar Cliff over Laurel Highlands here on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
18 pitches for a total of 45.
Cedar Cliff with Donovan Ball, Camden New, and Taven Kelly due up here in the bottom half of the third inning. Cedar Cliff leading Laurel Highlands 4-1 in this PIAA 5A first round game here at Northern York High School in Dillsburg. This bottom half of the third inning being brought to you by First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Again, this is our second of two here on WMBS. We brought you 1A first round action earlier on today from Greater Latrobe High School, California, downing Rockwood 17-7. Nick Barczyk brought you the action of that contest as Donovan Ball takes the first pitch for ball one. So far, Dino Vecchiola has thrown 50 pitches, 14 in the first inning, 35 in the second inning, and now one here in the third inning. And pitch number 51 now on the way, and this ball driven deep to left, but in foul territory. I'll move the count to 1-1. Here to Donovan Ball, single to left field first time up. And the senior entered this game with a .423 average. Home run and 19 RBIs. We mentioned he's headed to Penn State to wrestle next year. 1-1 pitch, and Ball coming through again with a hit here in a left field. Ball round first, and then keep it right there with a relay coming in from Alex Gesk. So the second hit of the game for Donovan Ball, and then I'll bring up Camden New. New grounded out 1-3 to end the first inning. Senior first baseman, and once again, Griffin Snyder will be the courtesy runner here for Ball. And New, plenty of pop in his bat. Now tied for the team lead in home runs with Whalen. Both have 6. As Vecchiola wanting to make sure that Snyder stays close over at first. Cedar Cliff certainly has made Vecchiola work here early on in this game. Vecchiola already above 50 pitches in the contest. A fastball here, driven deep to center field. Look out, backing up Justin Brostensky, and that ball goes right off the right center field wall. Rounding second, now on his way to third will be Camden New, and New with a triple. It drives in the courtesy runner Griffin Snyder. And now Cedar Cliff increasing their lead to 5-1 over Laurel Highlands. with a triple to right center field from Camden New. So give New his 26th RBI of the season. Snyder, the courtesy runner, scoring for Ball. And back-to-back hits to start this bottom of the third inning for Cedar Cliff. And their lead now at 5-1 over Laurel Highlands, with Taven Kelly coming to the plate. As Vecchiola winds and fires the first pitch, and what a shot there on a line. Gloved down by Santino Mera. It was actually shaded off a little bit towards the second base bag, and that allowed him to make the line drive catch there on the shot that almost took off Vecchiola's head. A much needed out recorded for the Mustangs defensively, with Justin Resto coming to the plate. Resto had a little slow roller in the infield first time up and produced an infield single. Take the first pitch here for a strike, 0-1. Cedar Cliff now with Camden New down at third after his RBI triple to right center field, increasing the Cedar Cliff lead to 5-1 over Laurel Highlands. 0-1 pitch now to New outside. Evens things up at 1-1. Check that to Resto. Resto, the batter for Cedar Cliff, with New at third. And Nate Uzelak due up next. 1-1 pitch on the way, and another chopper looking at the runner back, Zimkoski. Throw over to first in time. Nice job there by Nate Zimkoski. Laurel Highlands' third baseman made sure he looked New back to the bag. Made the throw over to first in time to retire Resto 5-3 for the second out of this bottom half of the third for Cedar Cliff. And that'll bring up Nate Uzelak, the freshman second baseman, who came into this game with a .367 average and 14 RBIs. Walked first time up in the bottom half of the second inning. Bottom half of the second, which saw 7 Cedar Cliff men come to the plate and produced 4 runs for the Colts. Lead now at 5-1 after New drove in the courtesy runner Snyder here in the bottom half of the third, and a 1-0 count to Uzelak. Now the 1-0 pitch, missing inside, 2-0 now. Vecchiola to Uzelak. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way, nubbed foul here on the right side. Again, in PIAA playoff games this year, much like the district playoffs, pitchers allowed 105 pitches instead of the normal 100 we saw during the course of the regular season. Vecchiola going over 60 now here as we work in the bottom of the third inning, and a little chopper going here to Santino Mera at second. Makes the throw over to first. It was a close play over to Garrett Myers to retire Uzelak 4-3 for the third out of the inning, but Cedar Cliff does get another run. It's 5-1 Cedar Cliff over Laurel Highlands after 3 here on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Bringing off the top of the fourth for Laurel Highlands, the first baseman, number 25, Garrett Myers.
Garrett Myers leading off the top half of the fourth inning for Laurel Highlands, taking the first pitch for a strike from Joseph Matter. For Matter, that was his 46th pitch of the game. Pitch number 47 misses outside to go 1-1 here to Garrett Myers, who struck out looking first time up back in the second inning. Matter working quickly, 1-1 to Myers. Chopped here on the left side, and that one eats up Dare. Tries to stay with the throw over to first in time to give Dare a lot of credit there. Over third base, stayed with it. Made the throw over to Camden New to retire Myers 5-3. And an out recorded here in the top half of the fourth inning, which is being brought to you by Ted Silva and Son Auto Repair on the Atlas Road in Hopwood. I'll bring up Alex Gesk. Kesk grounded out 4-3 first time up, swings the first pitch here and pops it up foul. Prime Rozak alongside Jerry Dupay. Bill Madden back in our Uniontown Hospital studios on the WMBS radio side. Of course, Jerry with us here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Their simulcast of Laurel Highlands baseball for you, coming your way from South Central Pennsylvania, Northern New York High School. And Dillsburg 1-1 now to Alex Kesk from Joseph Matter. 1-1 pitch on the way, and therefore a strike, now 1-2. And Laurel Highlands playing only their second ever PIAA playoff game in school history. Remember, the high school was formed in the late 1960s. Last time the Mustangs in the postseason, 1983, as Kesk frozen there with strike 3. For Matter, that's the 4th strikeout he's recorded in this game, and 2 up, 2 down quickly here in the top half of the 4th. Justin Brstensky coming to the plate. Laurel Highlands just 3 hits so far. Brstensky produced 1 of those hits back in the 2nd inning. Takes the first pitch here, low for ball 1. Mustangs did have the RBI single to right from Santino Mera, which drove in the courtesy runner. Nick Kumar is running for Caleb Scott. Back in the 3rd inning. Count now 2-0 here to Justin Brstensky from Joseph Matter. Now the 2-0 pitch. Get off the plate. Now 3-0. Matter to Brstensky. Justin's average now back above 400 after that single back in the 2nd. And takes a pitch here low and inside for ball 4. So a 2-out walk issued here to Justin Brstensky, who's now been on base in both plate appearances. And that'll bring up Nate Zimkowski. Zimkowski popped up in foul territory to the catcher Donovan Ball to end the 2nd inning for the Mustangs. And Zimkowski came into this game with a .302 average and a team-leading 20 RBIs. Playing third base again for the Mustangs here today. First pitch to Zimkowski, will check swing. It's a strike. And they count it 0-1. Now the 0-1 here for Matter, breaking ball, and there for strike 2. So Zimkowski now will have to protect the plate. Behind 0-2 against Joseph Matter. And it's a 5-1 Cedar Cliff lead over Laurel Highlands as Zimkowski chops it foul on the left side. Game for the most part, knock on wood, has moved along rather quickly. 0-2 now to Zimkowski. This one grounded to short. And the force out made there. A little flip from Law over the second baseman Uzelak, retiring the lead runner Brstensky. 6-4, 15 pitch inning. Matter's thrown 60 so far. It's still 5-1. Cedar Cliff over Laurel Highlands, heading to the bottom of the 4th here on the Ratcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day. Brant Cook, Chris Adair, and Bobby Whalen do up for Cedar Cliff here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Cedar Cliff leading Laurel Highlands by a score of 5-1. Dino Vecchiola so far for the Mustangs has thrown 61 pitches through 3 innings. Pitch number 62 here, a breaking ball. It'll number right back at Dino, actually off the inside of Cook's bat. And the Mustangs will take a quick out there to start this bottom half of the 4th inning, which is being brought to you by Tina Allen for Recorder of Deeds in Fayette County. And I'll bring up Chris Adair, the Cedar Cliff third baseman, batting from the number 9 position in the Cedar Cliff batting order. Came into the game with a .292 average and 8 RBIs. Righty against the lefty Dino Vecchiola. First pitch from Dino, breaking ball, catches the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Cedar Cliff with 4 runs in the bottom of the second inning. 3 of those on an inside the park home run from Bobby Whalen. Laurel Highlands got a run back in the top half of the fourth, and now going opposite field right. Again, the ball going all the way back to the corner. On his horse is Tyler Becker. Rounding second, now on his way to third is Chris Dare. Relay coming in. Throw down to third, not in time. At first, slide in safely there from Dare. And all game long, Becker has been shaded off to right center field, and now twice in this game. Cedar Cliff with opposite field shots, one from Whalen, which went for the inside the park home run, and now Dare going for a triple to right field with 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Now it's back to Whalen again in the top of the order. Whalen 1 for 2 today. That one, a big hit. Infield in again for Laurel Highlands. First pitch to Whalen. This one chopped right to Michael Brostensky, but it gets through. Brostensky unable to get a glove on it. Hopped right by him into left field. And that'll score Dare. And he'll probably score that one E6. So it goes as the first Mustang error of the game.
The shortstop, number 2.
And Whalen back aboard with Trey Law coming to the plate. Law 0 for 2 today. As Cedar Cliff tacks on another run, now leading Laurel Highlands 6-1. And Cedar Cliff with 4 in the bottom of the second, 1 in the bottom of the third, now 1 here in the bottom of the fourth. We'll throw over to first. Back safely there is Whalen. So Whalen coming through again. We mentioned the Mustangs with that infield in. You'd have to think it would be more of a routine play for Michael Brostensky if he was in his normal position at short. But certainly a tougher play there on the inside edge of the dirt surface here at Northern New York High School. That one fouled off by Law. Counted 0-1. Everything Laws do entering this at bat 0 for 2 so far in this game. Law batting from the left side, lefty versus lefty. Once again, Dino checking Whalen, who's back safely. We'll have more PIAA playoff baseball action for you on Thursday, quarterfinal round. California with their win today. They advance in the postseason. I have at least California's game for you on Thursday. If the Mustangs would manage to rally here, we'd also have action involving Laurel Highlands for you on the radio side as well. Certainly has been a fun high school baseball season. Laurel Highlands making a run to the WPIAL championship game. California winning the WPIAL championship in single A. Also had Brownsville in the postseason as Vecchiola checking the runner at first. Great to see the local teams in our coverage area having so much success here in 2019. Now the 0-2 pitch to Law, missing outside. Count moves to 1-2. Give this Mustang team a lot of credit. They lost a huge group of seniors a season ago. Really flew below the radar for much of the 2019 season. We mentioned they lost 4 of their final 6 regular season games. And there's the punch out of strike 3 on Trey Law. Second strikeout recorded for Vecchiola here today. His 45th strikeout of the season. And the second out recorded here in the bottom of the fourth inning with the catcher Donovan Ball coming to the plate. Laurel Highlands with 3 straight playoff wins. Got things started with a 3-1 win over Kiski area up at Seton Hill. And followed that up with a dramatic win over the number 2 seed in the District 7 playoff field, the WPIAL, Hampton. Came back the next day and knocked off Franklin Regional. Actually, Hampton the number 3 seed, Franklin Regional the number 2 seed. Nonetheless, impressive wins on back-to-back days for the Mustangs. Got themselves to the first ever WPIAL title game. Rundown situation here. Throw down to second and safe at second as the ball came out of the glove of Santino Mera as Vecchiola initially made the throw over to Garrett Myers at first. They had Whalen in between first and second, and on the throw over to Mera at second base, the ball popped out of his glove, allowing Whalen to be safe at second now in scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. An 0-1 count on the batter Donovan Ball, and the 0-1 pitch misses low to even things up at 1-1. And the Mustangs certainly have taken the next step here in 2019. Moving their program up, getting to the first ever WPIAA championship game in program history, and now in the state playoffs, really the second time in school history. 1-1 pitch inside, now 2-1 here. Dino Vecchiola to Donovan Ball. And Cedar Cliff regarded as one of the top teams in this 5A playoff field statewide as Vecchiola steps off the mound. In fact, looking at Max Prep's recent 5A rankings, Cedar Cliff coming in as the number 2 team in the state of Pennsylvania behind Holy Ghost Prep in 5A. Holy Ghost Prep, the District 1 champs. That's the Philadelphia suburbs. Holy Ghost 23-1 during the 2019 campaign. A 3-1 pitch on the way. It's ball 4 and a walk issued here to Donovan Ball. So Ball has now been on base in all 3 plate appearances here this afternoon. Couple of singles, has scored a run, and once again, for the 3rd time in this game, Griffin Snyder to run for Ball.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 20.
Get a run already across here for Cedar Cliff in this bottom half of the 4th. Colts lead the Mustangs by a score of 6-1. And Camden New, who picked up an RBI triple to right center field last time up, is at the plate. Takes the first pitch here for strike 1 from Dino Vecchiola. Vecchiola entered this bottom half of the 4th inning with 61 pitches thrown so far for this game. Cedar Cliff making him work again here in the bottom half of the 4th. Runner going. Pitch was low. Throw down to third, and they got him. Out at third base. And retired on the play, Bobby Whalen. That'll end the inning. 6-1 Cedar Cliff over Laurel Highlands after 4 here on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
Vecchiola in the 4th, 15 pitches for a total of 76. Leading off the top of the 5th for the Mustangs, the right fielder, number 17, Tyler Becker.
Tyler Becker, Caleb Scott, and Santino Mera due up for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs here in the top half of the 5th. A lot of ground to make up for the Mustangs. They're down 6-1 to Cedar Cliff. First pitch swinging here from Becker. Fouls it off on the left side. This top half of the 5th being brought to you by Peachin's Pharmacy, located inside the Peachin Super Food Mart. Have to thank their proprietor, Jim Capuzzi, for his support throughout the course of the high school sports season. A 1 pitch on the way. Becker, ground ball here on the right side. Tough play, and unable to make it there. Nate Uzelak, the second baseman. Uzelak tried to make a diving stop. Got into right field. And even if Uzelak would have been able to field that cleanly, you'd have to think it would have been a close play over at first. Double check and see if they're going to score that a hit or an error on Uzelak. Nonetheless, it puts Becker aboard. How you guys scoring that one? Hit? No hit awarded there to Tyler Becker. Now Caleb Scott at the plate. Scott with a big double last time up. Scored the Mustangs' lone run of the game. Back in the 3rd inning. Throw over to first. Head first, slide back safely there for Becker. Laurel Highlands trying to make up a little ground. Joseph Matter came into this inning with 60 pitches thrown for Cedar Cliff so far. And another rip from Caleb Scott getting through on the left side. Mustangs going station to station. Becker holding up at second. The Mustangs getting some production here from the bottom of the order. Back-to-back singles from Becker and Scott. Now 2 on and nobody out here in the top half of the 5th. for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. And Santino Mera coming to the plate. Remember Mera with an RBI single last time up.
Number 8, Santino Mera.
Mera 1 for 2 today. Entered this game with a .385 average and 9 RBIs. Laurel Highlands down 5, but trying to show they're not out of this game yet. If anyone saw the West Virginia College World Series game last night, we know never to count out a team. West Virginia giving up a huge bottom of the 9th inning, and here's Mera hit on the first pitch from Matter. It was a breaking ball that actually hit Mera in the head. Luckily, the pitch not thrown with much velocity. And Mera not phased by it at all, but it'll take first base. So you had back-to-back singles from Becker and Scott. Now Mera hit by a pitch in Laurel Highlands. Has the bases loaded down 5 with a game-tying run in the odds X circle, and Greg Hench at the plate. Hench 0 for 2 today, trying to get things going for the Mustangs. Enter this game with a .418 average and 7 RBIs.
Number 18, Greg Hench.
Really, for the first time in this game, a little pressure on Joseph Matter in the Cedar Cliff Colts. First pitch here to Mera. Fastball in there for a strike, 0-1. That'll alleviate some of the pressure right there. Matter coming through with a big pitch. And again, both of these teams with their full complement of pitchers available if needed for this contest. 0-1 pitch on the way, and Hench with a rip. Just foul on the left side. That could have been extra bases for the Mustangs. It would have stayed fair. Nonetheless, 2 strikes now on Greg Hench. The Mustangs want to get back into this game. They can't afford to pass up on this opportunity. And now a little activity in the Cedar Cliff bullpen as well. And we don't have a great vantage point here at Northern New York High School. Only 3 windows actually facing towards the field in the press box. Jerry and I sharing one of them. And there's the punch out of Greg Hench, not offering at the 0-2. And warming up for Cedar Cliff is Griffin Snyder. We've seen Snyder as a courtesy runner 3 times already in this game. And for you folks on the TV side, there's a look at Snyder throwing. Now Dino Vecchiola coming to the plate. He's also 0 for 2 today. Struck out back in the first inning, grounded out in the 3rd inning. And the bases loaded for Laurel Highlands. 1 out. First pitch swinging here for Vecchiola. This could be a double play to end the inning. Throw over to second, and they do get the out at second. Took a little while to develop. So it goes as a fielder's choice 4-6. The RBI granted to Dino Vecchiola, scoring Becker. So Laurel Highlands getting another run back. Now down 6-2 with 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th.
Nick Kumar.
And Nick Kumar on as a courtesy runner now for Vecchiola. Runners now on 1st and 3rd.
The first baseman, number 25.
And Garrett Myers at the plate. Garrett's been a little bit of a slump, average at 248. In the start of this game, 0 for 2 today. Myers was 0 for 3 in that WPIAA championship game against Shaler. Now Matter from the stretch. First pitch to Myers. Misses for ball 1. You go back to the semifinal round against Franklin Regional. Myers also 0 for 3. Did score a run in that game after getting on via an error. Another pitch missing there to Garrett. Now 2-0. And Garrett's last hit actually came back in the quarterfinal round against Hampton. RBI single to center field back in the 1st inning of that game. Love a hit here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. And the Mustangs down 4 with 2 runners on. Takes the 2-1 for a strike. Now 2-1. Again, Matter entered this inning with 60 pitches thrown. But does have Snyder loosening up down the 3rd base line. 2-1 pitch, breaking ball, misses high to Garrett Myers. His brother JC played at Laurel Highlands about a decade ago. 3-1 now. Matter to Myers. Fastball catches the outside corner for a strike. We're now full of 3-2. Big spot in this game for Laurel Highlands. They want an opportunity to rally back. Payoff pitch on the way. Fastball fouled off there by Garrett right into the net in front of us. Count remains full. At 3-2, Vecchiola at first. The courtesy runner Kumar for Caleb Scott down at third. The payoff pitch here to Myers, and it just misses low, and that walk will load up the bases. Mustangs still alive here in the top half of the fifth. It was a close one. Myers began to offer and then pulled back.
Left fielder, number 10.
Now Alex Gesk, who has certainly had some key hits for the Mustangs so far this season, represents the game-tying run at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. He's the 7th Mustang to bat here in the top half of the fifth. Laurel Highlands down 6-2. Matter readying for his first pitch to Gesk. Catches the outside corner for a strike at 0-1. Alex didn't like that call. Has to be careful in there. Has a little word to say to the home plate umpire. Now the 0-1, Matter to Gesk. Big cut there. Matter took a little bit off that one. Now Gesk behind 0-2. And the base is loaded for Laurel Highlands. Down 6-2, top half of the fifth. PIAA 5A first round action from Northern York High School in Dillsburg. 0-2 pitch to Gesk. Misses low and outside. Count now moves to 1-2. Gesk batting from the left side against the righty Joseph Matter. Now time called by Gesk. Laurel Highlands with Garrett Myers on first, Vecchiola on second, and Kumar running for Scott on third. Now the 1-2 pitch here to Alex Gesk. It's on the way. Breaking ball, he got to offer there at strike 3. So Gesk strikes out with the bases loaded. Second time he's gone down via the backwards K today. Mustangs strand 3. Pick up a run here in the top half of the fifth. Went to the bottom of the fifth. 6-2 Cedar Cliff over Laurel Highlands here on the Ratcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
The key to success in life is teamwork. On and off the field, in the workplace, in the home, in our schools. Teamwork gets it done. The world of competitive sports offers many good things, the most important of which is teamwork. Individual talent may win a few games, but teamwork wins championships. Go team! Go Laurel Highlands Mustangs! This positive message has been brought to you and paid for by Jason Scott.
Camden New swings with the first pitch, sends it deep to center field. And getting under it, Justin Brostensky to make the grab for the first out of the inning. So Camden New, first pitch swinging there for Cedar Cliff. And Justin Brostensky getting back on his horse to make the grab for the Mustangs. And Cedar Cliff with an out recorded here in the bottom half of the fifth inning, which is being brought to you by the Centers for Rehab Services and physical therapist Jim Burns. Laurel Highlands certainly missing a great opportunity in the top half of the inning. Another first pitch swinging here for Taven Kelly. Fly ball at Brostensky in center. Again makes the grab. So 2 F8s to start this bottom half of the fifth. Laurel Highlands leaving the bases loaded after Alex Yes struck out looking in the top of the fifth. But getting 2 outs here on 2 pitches. from Dino Vecchiola. Vecchiola came into this inning with 76 pitches. Now has 78 so far. On the other side, through 5 innings, Matter's thrown 79 for Cedar Cliff. Vecchiola looking for maybe a 3-pitch inning here. Justin Resto at the plate. First pitch to Resto. Resto's going to take it. It'll be ball 1, 1-0. Dino set again. Line and fire the 1-0 here to Resto. Fastball right down the pipe for a strike. 1-1. Resto infield single first time up back in the second inning. Grounded out 5-3 in a second plate appearance in the third inning. Senior DH came into the game with a .280 average and an RBI. On a 1-1, Vecchiola to Resto. Resto just foul tipping that one. Count moves to 1-2. Laurel Highlands trying to keep their season alive here in June with an opportunity to play in the PIAA quarterfinal round coming up on Thursday. Down 4. 1-2 pitch to Resto, and Resto with a line drive here into center field. This one bouncing in front of Justin Brostensky. Saw 3 so far in this inning hitting Justin's direction, but this one dropping in for a 2-out single for Justin Resto.
The second baseman.
And Cedar Cliff again with a base runner. With 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 5th, Laurel Highlands is yet to record a 1-2-3 defensive inning in this game. Nate Uzelak now at the plate. Uzelak walked first time up in the second inning, grounded out 4-3. Back in the third inning. First pitch here to Uzelak. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1. And the winner here today will take on either Bishop Shanahan or Frankfort in the quarterfinal round on Thursday. Both of those schools from the Philadelphia region. Now rundown situation here. Throw over to second, and now Brostensky throw back to first. Tag out. No. Got a rule underneath the tag there. Getting back was Resto. Vecchiola tried to apply the tag. First base umpire says it was not made, so back at first safely. There was Resto. And the Mustangs failing to record an out there in the rundown situation with Resto. And give Resto credit, getting back to the bag safely over at first. But again, we mentioned the winner here today playing either Bishop Shanahan or Frankfort in the quarterfinal round. Those 2 schools both from the Philadelphia region. Bishop Shanahan, the runners-up from District 1. That's the Philadelphia suburbs region. Frankfort, the runner-up from District 12, the Philly City schools. And those 2 teams playing as we speak over at Villanova and Plymouth Township. Count 1-1 here to Nate Uzelak. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Cedar Cliff up 6-2 over Laurel Highlands. And Uzelak going opposite field right again, and this one over at the line and foul. Out of the reach there of Tyler Becker, who's certainly been busy in right field here today. Had Bobby Whalen's inside the park home run hit in his direction back in the second inning. And also Camden New and Chris Dare had triples to right center and right field respectively. Dare's was over at the line. News was more in right center field, but again, they've kept Becker busy throughout the course of the afternoon. Count now 1-2 here. Vecchiola to Uzelak, and this shot to left field. Moving over there is Alex Gesk will make the catch to end the inning. So Cedar Cliff strands Resto. It's still 6-2. Cedar Cliff over Laurel Highlands as we go to the top of the 6th here on the Ratcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
Vecchiola in the 5th inning, 10 pitches for a total of 86.
Justin Brostensky, Nate Zimkowski, and Tyler Becker duo for Laurel Highlands here in the top half of the 6th inning. Laurel Highlands trailing Cedar Cliff 6-2 here in this PIAA 5A first-round playoff game for Northern York High School in Dillsburg. This top half of the 6th inning being brought to you by Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 West, located across from Applebee's. Taking the first pitch inside for ball one is Justin Brostensky. Brostensky has reached base in both plate appearances so far in this game. Singled back in the 2nd inning, walked last time up, and he'll reach base safely here again. Well, excuse me, single into center field in front of Bobby Whalen. So Brostensky is second hit of the day. And Laurel Highlands back in business here in the top half of the 6th. Laurel Highlands left the bases loaded in the top half of the 5th inning. Did score 1 run in the inning, as Dino Vecchiola's ground ball in the infield scored Tyler Becker. Vecchiola grounded into a fielder's choice. Nonetheless, it produced a Mustangs run. Laurel Highlands probably wasn't feeling too good about things, leaving the bases loaded to end that top half of the 5th as Zimkowski takes ball 1 inside from Joseph Matter. Now the 1-0, and Zimkowski popping this one up in foul territory and getting under it and making the grab. The catcher, Donovan Ball. No, he dropped it. Thought he had it. Did not hang on. Cedar Cliff appealing. Home plate umpire right on it. Home plate umpire saying, hey, I don't make the rules. It goes as a strike, but not an out. Count even at 1-1 here to Nate Zimkowski. And with Brostensky on first, nobody out with the Mustangs down 4 as we work here on the top of the 6th. That pitch, a breaking ball, high and inside to Zimkowski. Counted 2-1. Mustangs looking for some late inning magic here to get back into this one. 2-1 pitch. Misses high, now 3-1. Here to Nate Zimkowski. Mustangs have slowly been getting to Matter here in the later innings. 3-1 on the way. Matter's fastball misses low for ball 4. So now 2 on. Nobody out for Laurel Highlands. They're down 4. Game time tying run, in the on-deck circle. And Tyler Becker, who singled to right field last time up and scored a run for the Mustangs in the 5th inning, coming to the plate. Batting from the left side, we saw Griffin Snyder loosening up last inning for Cedar Cliff. But for now, they're sticking with Matter. Another big spot here for the Mustangs. They've had their share of opportunities to get back in this game the last 2 innings. First pitch here to Becker, misses high for ball 1. In our opening game of our PIAA high school baseball doubleheader here on the radio side on WMBS, saw California defeat Rockwood 17-7. That was a PIAA 1A first round game at Greater Latrobe High School. Laurel Highlands down 6-2 here. 1-0 pitch to Becker, and Tyler pops this one up on the left side, charging in from left field and moving over from the shortstop position to make the grab is Trey Law. So it's Law, the shortstop, that makes the grab in front of Taven Kelly, the left fielder, to produce the first out of the inning defensively for Cedar Cliff. Runners hold their positions for Laurel Highlands. Brostensky at second and Zimkowski at first. And that'll bring up the catcher, Caleb Scott. Caleb 2 for 2 today. He's been a different player in the postseason for the Mustangs. Certainly some big hits, and now a visit here to the mound on the Cedar Cliff side is Scott Lackey, 6th-year skipper for the Colts. Out to talk to Joseph Matter. Also the catcher, Donovan Ball, out as well. Just a little talk of strategy right now as Matter remains in the game. Caleb looking for another big hit here for the number 9 position in the Mustangs batting order. Doubled to left field and scored a run back in the 3rd inning. Singled to left field back in the 5th. Matter here from the stretch. 2 on, 1 out. Mustangs down 4 at the plate, top half of the 6th inning. First pitch here, Matter to Caleb Scott. Breaking ball low into the dirt. Nice block there from Donovan Ball. Have a little room to operate here between home plate and the backstop. Not as much as we saw at Wild Things Field last Tuesday for the Mustangs. But certainly a pass ball or wild pitch would allow the runners to advance. 1-0 pitch on the way. Again low there from Matter. Down out 2-0 here to Caleb Scott. Mustangs still showing a little spunk here in the top half of the sixth. 2-0 now. Matter to Scott. Pitch on the way. Fastball. Caleb chops this one right up the middle. Tough play. The out was recorded at second, and it's a double play. Turning it there. Trey Law stepped on the second base bag, threw it over to Camden New to end the inning. And again, the Mustangs stranding a runner. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth still. 6-2. Cedar Cliff over Laurel Highlands here on the Ratcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day. Moving to the bottom of the sixth inning, Cedar Cliff leading Laurel Highlands by a score of 6-2. Brant Cook, Chris Dare, and Bobby Whalen due up for Cedar Cliff here in the bottom half of the sixth inning, which is being brought to you by Fayette County Commissioner Vince Facilities at work building Fayette County's future. Laurel Highlands down 4 in this game. They've certainly had their fair share of opportunities the last 2 innings to get back into this one. First pitch from Vecchiola to Cook. Misses inside for ball 1. Laurel Highlands leaving the bases loaded back in the top half of the 5th inning. Then with 2 on, Caleb Scott grounding into a 6-3 double play. Then the top half of the 6th inning as the 1-0 inside him was clipping Brant Cook. As the count now moves to 2-0. Vecchiola entered this inning with 86 pitches thrown. Now at 88 right now, and pitch number 89 on the way here to Cook. 2-0 delivery on the way, and therefore a strike. Now 2-1. And the winner to take on either Bishop Shanahan or Frankfurt on Thursday. 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball missing low and outside. Now 3-1. Vecchiola to Matter. It's one of 3 games involving WPIAL teams in 5A. All 4 o'clock starts here today. 3-1 pitch on the way, and this one pop foul on the left side. Moves the count to 3-2. Shaler playing the second game of a tripleheader over at Greater Latrobe against Lampeter Strasburg. And also Franklin Regional, the number 3 team out of District 7, taking on Erie Cathedral Prep at Neshannock today. In our opening game here on WMBS, saw California defeat Rockwood 17-7. I'll guarantee us at least one PIAA playoff game on the radio side on Thursday in the quarterfinal round. And there's a line drive, actually one hops in front of Merritt second. Throw over to first in time to Myers to retire Cook 4-3 for the first out of this bottom half of the 6th inning. Laurel Highlands will be down to their final 3 outs in the top half of the 7th inning. They'll have their top of the order up, Mara, Hench, and Vecchiola, as they try to find a way to rally back down at least 4. Heading to the top of the 7th, depending on what the outcome is here of the bottom half of the 6th for Cedar Cliff. Now Chris Dare at the plate. He's 1 for 2 today. Shows bunt, lays it down, but it goes foul on the left side. Dare tripled to right field last time up. Now it's an opposite field shot. Now you have Becker over in right field, playing a little bit closer to the line than he was earlier on today when Dare came to the plate. And you give Cedar Cliff a lot of credit. They found the open gaps in the outfield throughout the course of the afternoon. And the difference was that 4-run bottom half of the 2nd inning. Swing and a miss. Actually was foul tipped there by Dare nonetheless. Counted 0-2. And the big hit of that inning was the inside the park 3-run home run from Bobby Whalen, his 6th home run of the season. Whalen now 37 RBIs for the Cedar Cliff Colts. Count 0-2 here. Vecchiola to Dare. Pitch on the way. Misses low and outside. Count now moves to 1-2. I have to thank all of our sponsors all season long, both here on the WMBS radio side and the South Union Township Sports Network. And a fun season of Mustang baseball. A little slow roller, unable to make the play there. Santino Mera. Have to give Dare a hit there with one out here in the bottom half of the sixth. I'll bring up Bobby Whalen.
The center fielder, number 14, Bobby
Whalen on in 2 of 3 plate appearances so far in this game. Along with the inside the park home run, got on via an error. But was also caught stealing back in the 4th inning. We work here in the bottom of the 6th. Cedar Cliff up 6-2. Vecchiola will throw over to first. We're going to get rejoined here in just a moment by the folks on the WMBS radio side. Temporarily lost our radio feed. Breaking ball missing outside. And Whalen at the plate here for Cedar Cliff. Vecchiola, another check over to first. Head first slide back in safely there for Chris Dare. Next pitch on the way. This ball hit high in the air to right field. Backing up and unable to make the grab was Tyler Becker. That one in and out of Becker's glove. Should have been the second out of the inning. Advancing to second on the play is Bobby Whalen. Goes to 2-base air. Down to third, Chris Dare. E9 on the play. And if you folks on the radio side just rejoining us, inning started with Brant Cook grounding out 4-3 infield single from Chris Dare. Now Bobby Whalen getting on via an error from Tyler Becker out in right field. Still one out as we work here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Trey Law at the plate. And now Scott DeBerry coming out. That might be it. Dino Vecchiola at 100 pitches. Again, he can go 105 here in the postseason, but with 2 on and 1 out, and he scores 6-2, and Cedar Cliff threatening again. That might be it for Dino Vecchiola. Scott DeBerry talking over things with his ace on the mound. And Dino facing another tough opponent here today like he did against Shaler in the WPIAA championship game against Cedar Cliff, the District 3 champs. Looks like they're going to stick with Dino for now, but again, the pitch count at 100. So could only throw another 5 pitches here in the inning. It'll be Trey Law at the plate. Law 0 for 3 today. Very surprising to see, considering the fact the Youngstown State commit came into the game with a .397 average and 18 RBIs on the season. Has 2 on here with 1 out. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. This half inning being brought to you by the Uniontown Hospital, making a healthy difference in the lives they touch. Oh, and 1 now. Vecchiola to Law. Pitch number 102. Nice block there from Scott as the pitch was low and outside. And if Dino gets to 105, he can continue to pitch to the batter he's facing, but after that he'd have to come out. 1-1 now to Law. Just missed outside. Count now moves to 2-1. Law, another lefty batter. Lefty versus lefty. Mustangs again with the infield in. 2-1 pitch on the way, and this little half swing goes back, and Dino kind of ate him up on the play. A run will score. Throw over to first, not in time. So everything kind of went wrong there for Laurel Highlands. Little roller back at Vecchiola. Should have had it. Just took a bad hop in the infield. Dare scores on the play. Cedar Cliff now up 7-2. And now that's going to be it for Dino Vecchiola. Pitching change here at Northern New York High School in Dillsburg. Cedar Cliff up 7-2 over Laurel Highlands. 1 out as we operate here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. We'll take a quick timeout here on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. We're back here in Dillsburg at Northern New York High School. New pitcher for the Mustangs, Garrett Myers, switches positions with Dino Vecchiola. Run already across here for Cedar Cliff. 1 out as we work here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Cedar Cliff leading Laurel Highlands 7-2. Donovan Ball now at the plate for Cedar Cliff. Takes ball 1 there from Myers. The last hit from Trey Law scored an error on Dino Vecchiola on the little chopper back to the pitcher. Second error of the inning committed by the Mustangs, 3rd of the game. And Cedar Cliff trying to finish this one off now, up 5. If things stand the way they are right now, Vecchiola would wrap up the season with a 6-3 overall record in the season, with back-to-back recorded losses against Shaler, now here against Cedar Cliff. If you look at the competition the Mustangs have faced here as of late, certainly some of the top teams around Pennsylvania. We mentioned Cedar Cliff coming in the number 2 team in the state in 5A behind Holy Ghost Prep. In many publications, District 3 champs. 3 Division I baseball players on the roster. Count out 3-1. Cedar Cliff with runners on 2nd and 3rd. Myers came into this game with a 2-1 record, 2.12 ERA. This is his 10th appearance. We're 25 in a 3rd inning. Saw relief action against Shaler, giving up 16 hits, 10 runs, 7 of them earned, struck out 28 and walked 14. So 2-1 strikeout to walks ratio for Myers. There's another well-hit ball from Cedar Cliff. This will go all the way back to the left field wall. We'll score 2 on the play. Gesk all the way back to the wall with a relay in, headed for 3rd, and the play at 3rd and out at 3rd is Donovan Ball. So Ball picks up a 2 RBI double. He's out at 3rd trying to get a triple. And scores Whalen and Law on the play. Now 3 runs across here for Cedar Cliff in the bottom half of the 6th. That's 9-2, Colts over the Mustangs. You go back and you look at this game, I think the game actually will be a lot closer than the final score indicates, considering the fact that Laurel Highlands left the bases loaded in the 5th, and then you had Scott hit into a double play with 2 runners on base in the 6th. Laurel Highlands certainly had their fair share of opportunities to get back into this game. They're down to their final 3 outs, down at least 7. Entering the 7th inning. Cedar Cliff with 4 runs scored in the bottom of the 2nd. Mustangs came back with a run in the top of the 3rd. Cedar Cliff answered in the bottom of the 3rd. It was 5-1 after 3. Cedar Cliff made it 6-1 after 4. The Mustangs tacked on another run in the top half of the 5th to make it 6-2. Now this 3-run bottom of the 6th inning has Cedar Cliff on top 9-2 over Laurel Highlands, with Camden New at the plate. Count at 2-1. New 1 for 3 today. Had that big RBI triple to right center field in the 3rd inning. and rips another one here deep to left field. This one bounces in front of Alex Gesk. Bases were empty, and New held to a single for the second hit of the game. Of course, the base is empty after Donovan Ball was ruled out at third, trying to extend his double into a triple. But Ball, producing 2 RBIs, now has 21 ribbies on the season for Cedar Cliff. The Colts looking like they'll advance to the quarterfinal round on Thursday. At the plate, taking the first pitch for a strike here, Taven Kelly. Counted 0-1, but with California defeating Rockwood earlier on today, we will have PIAA baseball for you on Thursday here on the radio side. This half inning being brought to you by your local Allstate insurance agent, Russ Palejo. 0-1 pitch, this one hit on the ground. Goes to Brostensky at short, makes a throw over to second for the force out. And that retires New for the third out of the inning, goes 6-4. But an inning that produced an additional 3 runs for Cedar Cliff. Cedar Cliff 9, Laurel Highlands 2. Mustangs down to their final 3 outs. So we go to the top of the 7th here on the Ratcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
Number 8, Santino Mera.
Laurel Highlands down to their final 3 outs. Top half of the 7th. Cedar Cliff 9, Laurel Highlands 2. It's Mera, Hench, and Vecchiola for the Mustangs. First pitch, a breaking ball in there for a strike from Joseph Matter. Matter now with 92 pitches thrown so far in this game, so has an additional 13 to work with here as he looks for the complete games. Comes back with a fastball. Finds a strike zone again, and Mera finds himself behind 0-2. This half inning being brought to you by the Republic Food Enterprise Center and the Fayette County Community Action Agency. 0-2 on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3. Boy, Matter making that one look easy. Matter, strikeout machine early on, struck out 3 of the first 4 batters he faced.
The designated hitter, number 18, Greg.
It's now his 7th strikeout of the game. And Greg Hench has been sent down twice. Once with a forward K, once with a backward K. A swing and miss at the first pitch here from Joseph Matter. Greg 0 for 3 today. Came in with a .418 average and 7 RBIs. Hasn't been able to figure out Joseph Matter today. Hench, though, with a ground ball here to second. Should be routine. Uzelak a little trouble with the throw over to first. Not in time. Should have been routine. Uzelak couldn't make the play at second. Goes E4. And Hench aboard. Now Dino Vecchiola coming to the plate. Dino picked up an RBI last time up, hitting into a fielder's choice. Struck out to end the first, also grounded out back in the 3rd inning. A little discussion here with the home plate umpire as Cedar Cliff skipper Scott Lackey out. Not sure what that was all about.
The first baseman, number 1, Dino.
Nonetheless, Dino Vecchiola at the plate here for the Mustangs. 1 on, 1 out here, top of the 7th. Laurel Highlands certainly a lot of ground to make up. Down 9-2. Now the 1-0 here to Dino, outside, 2-0. The loss, Laurel Highlands would drop to 14-8, and their season would end. Again, you give Laurel Highlands a lot of credit for what they've accomplished here in 2019. Always nice when your season's ending in the month of June. Laurel Highlands certainly taking some steps to improve their program as Vecchiola walks, so not done yet. Now 2 on, 1 out. Pitch count getting up there for Matter, approaching 100 pitches. And we might have a pitching change here. Infield coming in. It looks like we're going to have a pitching change here for Cedar Cliff. And Matter unable to get the complete game, but still a great job on the mound here today for the Cedar Cliff Colts. So the Colts up 9-2 over Laurel Highlands, 1 out. Top of the 7th inning. Pitching change here for Cedar Cliff. We'll take a quick timeout here on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network and the South Union Township Sports Network. New pitcher for Cedar Cliff, Griffin Snyder. This will be his 5th appearance of the season. Enters with a 1-0 record. He's yet to give up an earned run so far this year. Has worked 11 innings, given up 6 hits. Has yielded 3 runs, but they're all unearned. Struck out 9 and walked 4 so far this season. Enters with Cedar Cliff leading 9-2 over Laurel Highlands. 1 out as we work here in the top of the 7th inning. The Mustangs down to their final 2 outs, but Laurel Highlands with 2 runners on base. Craig Hench over at second. Dino Vecchiola at first, and Garrett Myers at the plate. Myers 0 for 2 with a walk today. Walked last time up back in the 5th inning.
Now batting, the pitcher, number 25.
Snyder, a righty.
Myers.
Saw him a couple of times earlier on in this game as a courtesy runner for Cedar Cliff. Not getting an opportunity here on the mound, as Cedar Cliff looks to advance to the PIAA quarterfinals on Thursday. Mustangs mounting another threat here in the 7th, but again, a lot of ground to make up, down 7 runs. First pitch here, Snyder to Myers, misses high and outside for ball 1. Behind Myers will be Alex Gesk. One 1-0 here, Snyder to Myers. Glance back at second. Now throw back to second. Head first, slide back safely there from Greg Hench. Laurel Highlands coming off a season a year ago. Saw the Mustangs go 16-4, but they lost in the WPIAA quarterfinal round. And look at all the seniors that were on last year's team, lost to graduation. Laurel Highlands head coach Scott DeBerry said he's thrilled where the Mustangs have put themselves at this point of the 2019 season. Unfortunately, it looks like it might come to an end here today. On the road here at Northern York High School, pitching there for a strike. Also have to send out a hello and get well wishes out to the longtime public address announcer, voice for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, Barry Rosner. Barry, we hope you're doing well. Hope to have you back at Mustang baseball games very soon. We knew if you were feeling up to it, you'd be out here at Northern York with us here today. That pitch in for a strike to Myers, evens up the count at 2-2. Continuing to thank some of our sponsors, including General Dentist Dr. Edward Wietek. Appreciate his supports throughout the course of the season as well. 2-2 now. Snyder to Myers. Breaking ball missing way outside there. 3-2. Laurel Highlands looking for another base runner. With 1 out here, down 9-2. And 2 on in the top of the 7th. There's a swing, yet a miss. Strike 3. Myers goes down. Second time Garrett struck out here today. And Snyder getting Myers to go down. Now Alex Gesk at the plate. The Mustangs down to their final outs. We talked about all that Laurel Highlands has accomplished so far this season. This is only the second Laurel Highlands High School baseball game on record played in the month of June. The only other game they've played in June, again, you go back to the '83 season when they lost in the first round of the state playoffs to Taylor Alderdice at Westfield and Munhall. Alderdice ended up losing in the WPIAA semis, or the PIAA semis, to Beaver. Beaver knocked the Mustangs out of the WPIAL playoffs that year in the semifinal round. Beaver would end up losing to Reading in the title game. They played the title games back in '83 up at Shippensburg. This year's title games will be played at Medlar Field up at State College. 1-1 pitch here to Alex Gesk, and Alex with a rip here, knocked down by the first baseman Camden New. Steps on the first base bag to end it. 3 unassisted for the final out of the game. So your final score, Cedar Cliff 9, Laurel Highlands 2. Back to tell you all about it right after this on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Your final score, Cedar Cliff 9, Laurel Highlands 2. I'd like to congratulate Laurel Highlands on a great...
Back here wrapping things up at Northern York High School in Dillsburg, the Cedar Cliff Colts with a 9-2 win over the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. You go back and look at this game. You first look at the bottom half of the second inning. Cedar Cliff scoring 4 runs, 3 on an inside-the-park home run from Bobby Whalen. Laurel Highlands certainly had their fair share of opportunities to get back into this contest. In the 5th inning, Laurel Highlands ending the inning, leaving the bases loaded. Also in the 6th inning, Caleb Scott hitting into a 6-3 double play with 2 runners on base. But again, the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, plenty to be proud of here in 2019, advancing to their first ever WPIAL final in the state playoffs for only the 2nd time in school history. Laurel Highlands ends their season 14-8. Cedar Cliff improves to 22-3. They advance to the PIAA quarterfinals. Looking at the box score in this one against Cedar Cliff, 4 runs across in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Laurel Highlands came back with a run in the top half of the 3rd to make it 4-1. Cedar Cliff made it 5-1 with a run in the bottom half of the 3rd inning, extended that lead to 6-1 with another run in the bottom half of the 4th. Laurel Highlands getting a run back in the top half of the 5th, but Cedar Cliff leaving no doubt about this game with 3 runs scored in the bottom half of the 6th inning as the Cedar Cliff Colts defeat the Laurel Highlands Mustangs by a score of 9-2. We're back with a final word from Northern York High School in Dillsburg in just a moment here on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network and the South Union Township Sports Network. Back one final time on the South Union Township Sports Network. Cedar Cliff defeating Laurel Highlands by a score of 9-2 in this PIAA 5A first-round playoff game. Today's game was brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, Gary Smith and his staff. Again, I'm Brian Morozak with Jerry Dupay. It's been a great ride for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs this season. Unfortunately, it ends this afternoon. Cedar Cliff a 9-2 win over Laurel Highlands. So, everybody, from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania.